Someone gives Bernie Ecclestone a mic and he ends up saying some crazy things. Aston Martin reveal their plans that could help challenge Ferrari. McLaren is bringing some upgrades for the Miami Grand Prix. Let's get straight into the latest F1 news. Bernie Ecclestone, the former leader of Formula One, has voiced his criticism of Lewis Hamilton's surprising move to Ferrari for the 2025 Formula One season. Ecclestone believes that Hamilton is a difficult person to handle and considers his decision to be peculiar. In February, Hamilton shocked the world of F1 by announcing that he will be leaving Mercedes, with whom he had a long and successful partnership, and joining Ferrari on a multi-year contract starting in 2025. This announcement came just 5 months after Hamilton had signed a new 2-year contract with Mercedes until the end of 2025. Surprisingly, Hamilton activated a break clause before even starting the first season of his new deal with Mercedes. This situation has created an unusual circumstance where Hamilton will spend the entire 2024 season with Mercedes, fully aware that they will part ways at the end of the year. As a result, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff is now scrambling to find a new teammate for George Russell. Several drivers have been linked to the vacant seat, including Carlos Sainz, whom Hamilton will replace at Ferrari, reigning world champion Max Verstappen, and Mercedes' young sensation Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Ecclestone, a former Brabham team chief who later became a prominent figure in F1, found the whole situation bewildering and saw it as evidence that the relationship between Hamilton and Wolff isn't as strong as it appeared. According to Ecclestone, it was a strange move to make. Toto has heavily relied on Hamilton, and they have become close for self-serving reasons, both of them. I don't think there was ever a solid relationship where both parties could depend on each other. Obviously there wasn't, since that's why Hamilton suddenly decided to leave. It was a big surprise for me because I didn't understand why he did it, especially with a year's notice. Why didn't he wait to announce it later on in the season? People thought Ferrari had made a clever deal by signing him, but I believe it's more an ego-driven decision on his part. Ecclestone further expressed his opinion that he wouldn't have signed Hamilton due to the excessive influence he has gained within the Mercedes team, which, in his view, has been allowed by Wolff. He is too much of a handful, a needless burden, Ecclestone emphasized. He has a considerable sway over things at Mercedes. Toto let him have that influence to keep Hamilton on board and satisfied. But I never experienced this with drivers. They are still very good friends of mine, genuine friends, not motivated by financial gain or anything like that. I prefer having that kind of relationship rather than feeling compelled to do something because someone tells me to. If I wanted to do something, I would do it if I believed it was the right thing. Hamilton's move to Ferrari means that he will be reunited with team principal Fred, who was in charge during Hamilton's successful GP2, now F2 season in 2006. It is also known that Hamilton shares a friendly relationship with Ferrari chairman John Elkann. Ecclestone believes that Elkann's pursuit of Hamilton was primarily driven by ego. He stated, "Fred knew him from their early days, and I think John Elkann at Ferrari, from his perspective, felt a sense of accomplishment in securing one of the leading Formula One drivers, the best Formula One driver according to many opinions. These things happen. It's a combination of circumstances." Sauber's CEO Andreas Seidl emphasizes that Formula One is not solely dependent on one individual, countering speculation surrounding Audi's potential pursuit of Red Bull's Adrian Newey. Audi is progressively preparing for its entrance into Formula One, scheduled for 2026, as it takes control of the Sauber team. Seidl sheds light on the developments at Hinwil in a detailed interview with Automotor und Sport in Germany. He addresses the possibility of recruiting a prominent figure like Newey to highlight the seriousness of their endeavor. The future of the British engineer remains uncertain, as recent reports suggest a growing desire on Newey's part to part ways with Red Bull, despite being under contract until the end of 2025. Seidl acknowledges the desire to acquire notable figures in the Formula One industry, individuals who possess not only expertise, but also bring attention and renown. However, he emphasizes that Formula One is not reliant on one person alone. He stresses the importance of building a strong team with the right mindset and collaborative goals. When appointing key positions, Sauber ensures that these individuals embody the desired culture. Seidl is confident that they have attracted top talent and assembled the right team. Last week, Sauber and Audi revealed that Nico Hulkenburg would be one of the drivers for their upcoming project, successfully enticing him away from Haas. Although it's unlikely that the emerging Audi team will tempt Newey away from offers with substantial financial incentives, such as those reportedly coming from Ferrari and Aston Martin, Newey has proven his commitment to rising challengers before. This was evident when he joined Red Bull in 2006 and played a pivotal role in transforming the team into the powerhouse it is today. Seidel also touches upon Sauber's current employee count, confirming that the Swiss team is currently not operating at the F1 budget cap of $135 million, which allows for further financial growth under Audi's ownership. Their goal is to reach the budget cap figure, ideally by 2025. Seidel reveals that they currently have around 600 employees, which is below the cost limit imposed by the regulations. They aim to quickly increase this number to 900 by recruiting additional talented individuals who bring expertise and experience. Last year, they successfully recruited personnel from various Formula One teams and other sectors. Some new employees have already commenced their work, while others are subject to the usual Formula One lockdown procedures. Recruiting new talent is an ongoing process, and with Audi's commitment to acquiring the team entirely, a new phase of recruitment has been initiated. The project has garnered significant interest within the industry. The entrance of a premium brand with a rich motorsport history into Formula One has generated enormous appeal. If you want to win fan-made F1 merch, I have good news. I'll be doing a merch giveaway to 10 lucky subscribers if we can get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the Miami Grand Prix race. So drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and you could get free F1 merch. Thanks for the support. Aston Martin currently occupies the 5th position in the hierarchy of Formula One in terms of race performance and results. As they head to Miami, they are trailing Mercedes, who holds the 4th spot, by 12 points. Although Aston Martin has faced difficulty keeping up with teams like Ferrari and McLaren over the course of a race, their qualifying performances have been rather impressive. Led by two-time world champion Fernando Alonso, Aston's AMR24 has managed to qualify on the 2nd or 3rd row of the grid in 4 out of 5 attempts, only to slide back during the actual race. Alonso views the car's strong one-lap performance as a bonus and not indicative of any issues with its overall pace during longer runs in China. He holds the belief that his team shouldn't apologize for their qualifying speed and should instead embrace it. According to Tom McCullough, the performance director of the squad, the disparity between Aston Martin's qualifying and race pace is a crucial issue that needs to be addressed. The team is fully dedicated to optimizing their car's performance on Sundays. McCullough emphasized that the margins in qualifying are extremely narrow among several teams beyond just the top 5. He expressed a strong commitment to extracting the utmost potential from the car, tires, and overall understanding, highlighting these as the team's strengths this year. McCullough stressed that Aston Martin's focus lies in preparing the car for racing rather than solely concentrating on qualifying. They strive to enhance the development of the car as well as their understanding of tire optimization to optimize performance on race days. While other teams have been outperforming them at the moment, Aston Martin remains determined to work hard and improve their standing. Furthermore, McCullough clarified that the improved one-lap performance is not deliberate, but rather a result of certain car changes they have implemented to enhance racing performance. Changes that were primarily intended to make the car more competitive during the race. During the development process, Aston Martin faced critical decisions. They never prioritize qualifying over Sunday's performance as the points are awarded on race days. However, some elements of their car development have positively influenced qualifying. For instance, the efficacy of the DRS, drag reduction system, switch aids in qualifying. Securing a position in free air and running without turbulence yields better results than being stuck in dirty air, which compromises downforce. Aston Martin reflects on the decisions made throughout the previous year and the current year, acknowledging the impact those decisions had on improving their qualifying performance. However, their primary focus remains on developing a fast race car. Last year, McLaren made significant upgrades during the Austria and Singapore rounds that completely transformed the team's performance. Previously a midfield struggler, McLaren became competitive with Ferrari and Mercedes, regularly fighting for podium finishes in the second half of the season. In the early races of 2024, McLaren not only maintained its position, but also managed to move ahead of Mercedes. However, during the unveiling of its MCL38 in February, McLaren hinted at having more promising development projects in progress that couldn't be finalized in time for the launch version. McLaren now has the first set of upgrades ready for the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. While the team boss, Stella, doesn't reveal too much, he indicated that these upgrades will result in a noticeable improvement. He mentioned that they won't be as massive as the upgrades introduced in Austria and Singapore last year, but they should still represent a decent step forward. Stella emphasized that he couldn't disclose further details, as that would involve discussing specific numbers, which they prefer to keep confidential. However, he reiterated that although these upgrades may not be on the same scale as the ones implemented previously, they should be noticeable if everything aligns with their expectations based on wind tunnel data and computer simulations. Stella acknowledged that there is always a level of uncertainty, as surprises are possible, despite their positive correlation track record in the past year. McLaren's primary weaknesses, namely struggles with long, low-speed corners, tire degradation, and aerodynamic efficiency, were areas the team aimed to address during the previous winter, but which still persist in their 2024 car. The Miami updates represent their initial efforts to further mitigate these shortcomings. Nevertheless, McLaren has once again exceeded its own expectations this year, as demonstrated by Lando Norris securing second place in the Chinese Grand Prix, even on a Shanghai circuit that was expected to be a weaker venue for the team. Nonetheless, at Suzuka, Norris and his teammate Oscar Piastri faced more difficulties, marking a contrast from their double podium finish in the Japanese Grand Prix just 7 months earlier. Former Alpine team boss Otmar Szafnauer expressed his belief that Lando Norris would be the ideal teammate to challenge Max Verstappen. Although Norris and Verstappen had been linked before, Norris ultimately extended his contract with McLaren ahead of the 2024 season. Nonetheless, Szafnauer feels that Norris possesses the skills necessary to compete with Verstappen. Current achievements indicate that Verstappen is in outstanding form, having only lost 2 races since the Miami Grand Prix last year. It seems inevitable that the Dutchman will secure his 4th world title soon. Given Verstappen's dominance, speculation has arisen regarding which driver on the grid could pose a genuine challenge to him in equal machinery. When asked this question, Szafnauer proposed one name, Lando Norris. During an interview, including PlanetF1.com, he pondered who would be the most suitable rival for Max. "You guys are as good at guessing that as I am, but who would you put up against Max? For me, I love Lewis Hamilton. I think he's done a wonderful job, but he's at a different age in his career. I would stick Lando next to Max to see what happens, personally. I'm not saying Lando should do that." Norris, while acknowledging the difficulty of competing against Verstappen, stated that he is not afraid to face the challenge. He recognized Verstappen's status as one of the greatest drivers in Formula One history. Norris emphasized the importance of having a comfortable team environment and feeling prepared before challenging Verstappen directly, regardless of whether it's the old or current version of Max. While he would relish the opportunity to race against Verstappen, Norris acknowledged the need for adaptation and adjustment, particularly when confronting the best driver in the world. Expanding on his thoughts about Lewis Hamilton, Szafnauer lauded Hamilton's remarkable ability to consistently get the job done. He expressed admiration for Hamilton's determination and work ethic, regardless of his position on the track. Szafnauer cited an instance where Hamilton admitted that he couldn't catch up to an Alpine, but through his tenacity and resourcefulness, Hamilton managed to secure points. Szafnauer commended Hamilton's skill as a racer and his respectful demeanor on the racetrack. The beginning of the 2024 campaign has been tough for the Australian driver. He hasn't felt as confident with the V-Carb Yo1 car compared to his teammate, Yuki Tsunoda. There were even rumors that he might be replaced before the summer break if his performance didn't improve. However, in the recent races, Ricciardo has shown more promising results. Red Bull, RB, has made it clear that they have complete faith in Ricciardo's abilities, especially after he received a new chassis in China. Although Ricciardo still needs some more time to get comfortable with the car's behavior, RB's team principal, Laurent Mekies, has no doubts about his capabilities. Mekies believes that Ricciardo, an 8-time Grand Prix winner, is the right person for the job. When asked if Ricciardo possesses the same potential as last year during his F1 return, Mekies responded positively, stating that it is their responsibility to identify the ideal car setup for both drivers. The team has observed Yuki's significant progress and is witnessing Daniel returning to his previous impressive trajectory. Despite not scoring any points this year, Mekies attributes Ricciardo's lack of success more to unfortunate incidents, such as his early exit in Japan and being hit by Lance Stroll behind the safety car in China, rather than his ability. The team noticed progress after the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, realizing how to better support him. Mekies expressed confidence in the ongoing trajectory, mentioning that there are upcoming improvements to enhance Ricciardo's comfort in the car. They are determined to ensure the car suits his driving style perfectly. The team is encouraged by tangible progress seen during the China weekend. While there have been external criticisms directed at Ricciardo, Mecchi has emphasized that internally, the team witnessed his unwavering determination to overcome the challenges. Despite the difficult start to the season, Ricciardo has remained focused, calm, and rational. The team thoroughly assessed the car's limitations and identified areas for improvement. Some steps were quickly implemented, but others require more time. Mecchi has emphasized that their efforts won't stop here. They will continue working to maximize Ricciardo's potential. Ricciardo is not the only driver at risk of losing his seat. Watch this video next to get updated on the Stroll situation at Aston Martin.